Show program comes up to you at 9:30 every Friday. We are back again to continue with our message on fighting corruption. Yes, again, this your super duper program, Make We Summer Corruption. That we are doing this together. Okay, listeners at home, like you know that the program is anchored by Akin Fadeyi Foundation in collaboration with Federal Road Safety Corps, and we are doing this to sensitize Nigerians on the various forms of micro-corruption happening in and out of our society, and it's our collective responsibility to join hands together as good citizens so that we can fight this corruption. And today, yes, we'll continue the message by looking into a very, very critical aspect of our educational sector, and we want to touch light on all the forms of fraud that is happening in that sector. And what are we talking about today? We want to look at corruption in the tertiary institution, which involves the university, polytechnics, and colleges of education. And we are going to be streamlining the discussion on admission fraud. Admission fraud. So fraud too, don't get admission.
I don't think
it does. The matter, I think, by this discussion, we want to look into the forms of corruption in the tertiary institution, and also try and see how we can profile a better solution. So with me in the studio are the program manager, Miss Tommy Oluwatomi Okiowo. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Let us start by looking at an overview of our tertiary institution and the admission scandal. Can we just talk to Nigerians? Who is actually in charge? What is actually going on within that sector?
I think it's a very unfortunate thing, especially because it's been getting worse.
Okay.
So in those days, I want to use big grammar, meritocracy. You know, in those days, merit-based. So try they happen, but a lot of the people, you can say, okay, if you get a high jump score, you will definitely get into school. So there was at least some form of Nigerians felt, at least there was a perception, Nigerians felt that if they do well, they will surely get a school or college of education. So all you needed to do is do your part, play your part. However, where we are today is that if you like, play your part, tire. If you like, play your part. You actually have to do more than the regular. You have to maybe be one of the top people to be guaranteed a spot, right? Because if you just get the basic, okay, I passed well, it usually does not end in you will get an admission.
Even with your effort in passing, you are not still guaranteed.
No, you are not.
You must have to look for someone who had to.
You must know somebody. You must know someone who can, speak to the dean, speak to the VC, things like that. You must be able to part with something. I think it has become quite painful.
It's all right. According to the JAMB Admission and Matriculation Board, Nigerian tertiary institution, it was stated that they offered a total of 706,189 illegal admission across the universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education between 2017 and 2020. JAMB added that about 114 degree awarding institutions, including universities and colleges of education that are affiliated with them, conducted 67,795 illegal admission examinations within that period.
Wow.
Now, the question I want to ask, the perpetrators of these hideous crimes of illegal admission, is it the legal body of the tertiary institution constituted to handle the affairs of this the tertiary institution, or some set of people who constitute themselves to commit this kind of crime?
Can I answer all of the above? Can I answer all of the above? Truly, I think that we have not everyone,
Okay.
because we know we have agreed in previous editions that not everybody is corrupt. So, but you would see that those, for example, I remember very quite clearly in my year, the entire the entire WAEC was cancelled.
Okay.
Why? Because the results, the paper of that morning, which was geography, came out in the national time of that morning. So it means that before we sat for the exam at 9 o'clock, Guardian or Punch had published the entire result and answer on the national newspaper. So it means that the kind of things that you see, whether it's the admission bodies, whether it's the examination bodies. So let's start with that, the examination bodies, right? So it means that even some of the results are not credible, right? Now we go from that level to the admission bodies, those who are responsible to look at your JAM score, look at your WAEC, and offer you an admission. So people who are sitting in that privileged position, a number of them engage in corrupt practices. And so we see that across board, in every level, we are dealing with corruption and mago every day.
Wow. So that means even the people that are expected to be watchdogs and do the right thing are the ones that are creating loopholes in the sector. Okay. Now, I want to ask a very critical question. I don't know if well, let me ask the question. Who do you really think? Because we know that the system is that after your O level, after writing the SSCE, the JAMB, then it is with these two results that will give you a chance to seek for admission. Now, we have had a scenario whereby some of these institutions, tertiary institutions, even after people must have paid written JAM, they want to also conduct their own personal assessment by examination. They call it is it an intake exam? So people that
or post JAM.
Is it post JAM?
Or post
UME.
Post
UME. So it's still post JAM then. Then it means that if you selected their school in the JAM, so you are qualified to come to the school on the same date to conduct another examination. Now, in your own thought, who should really be the people who should influence admission, who should give admission, give people who are qualified? Since we are writing SSC, writing JAM, and writing post UME again, so who do you really think should be saddled with that responsibility so that we cannot really have, checkmate all these issues of fraud in the system?
It's hard, this your question hard. But for my first thought, maybe if we have an independent body. However, in Nigeria, we are used to creating independent body over independent body over independent body. So we'll create a body to supervise the body that will supervise the body. So unfortunately, you see, and that is what we call systemic corruption.
And they're kind of duplication of duties.
Yes.
So everybody now will be fighting hierarchy. Who is more superior?
Who is more superior? Because truly, if the equation was that, okay, at university level, who are currently responsible for admitting students with certain marks, okay, we can see corruption within that system, right? You could have said, okay, let's create an independent body that just automatically places, almost like they use AI, once you get this particular mark and this is your first attempt, we prioritize you. And merit, it will be merit based. Yes. So if we really could do that, if there was some form of system, maybe not even an institution per se, but if there was some sort of system that we could say, okay, all the results from WAEC, JAM, NECO will feed into this system, being manned by these independent bodies, maybe a collection of credible professors from each institution, serve as a body, you understand? And so it goes into the system and automatically students are placed in their first choice, their chosen career based on merit.
All right. Now let's talk about some people, scammers, you know, the people that sometimes they can call themselves agents, you know, that operate within some secluded, you know, part, or probably within the school.
That's another thing Nigeria has. They have agents for everything.
Now let's
agent day for everything.
I want us to really talk about
Okay.
Do you really think it is the system that is creating these loopholes for these people to take prey off?
For sure. In Nigeria, we create what they call lacunas, and we create potholes. And
So-
when we create potholes, somebody is supposed to fill up. So, you know, somebody will come, even when something is easy, you will see a side vendor, agent, say, let me help you carry it from point A to point B, even when the solution is easy, right? So now imagine when there is a break in transmission, where you do not have, why would you go and meet an agent? Because you do not have confidence in the system. Nigerians have lost faith in the system. Shikena.
So they are always looking for someone
Agents.
who will assist them.
Yes, who will assist them to either rig the process, to use leg power, to hand power, whichever one,
any power,
and there are all sorts of powers to get there.
All right, my prayer is that maybe somehow the people in power should, you know, look at this holistically. We are looking at the new government coming in to be sworn in, and I pray that they will look into this matter holistically to see how you know, it can be mitigated against. Now we're running out of time. Let us look at actionable solutions that you feel that, you know, maybe the tertiary institution, probably the government, or whoever that is saddled with this responsibility, you know, what we can proffer to them that will help, so that we can curtail or entirely eradicate this admission fraud.
Actually, there are bodies. For example, there's committee of vice chancellors. For example, there's committee of provosts of. So we have bodies, right? So, but maybe these bodies, you know, beyond some of the critical conversations that they already work on, maybe they need to be collectively looking at how to sanitize the system, right? So sanitize the system from within and from outside. So from within, in terms of how can we make our systems, you know, maybe digital, or how can we make our systems seamless in such a way that we can raise credible people ready for the university, right? That have the right mark. And you know, even this benchmarking is to help. So for example, if I didn't make the grade this year, right, and a number of Nigerians are like that, not everybody is book smart, right? So if I didn't make the grade this year, and again, that's another conversation, maybe the whole grading system needs to somehow change, but that's a different conversation. Let me leave that today, right? So, but if we ensure that that system, the grading system, like we can supervise that, it means that from inside we have done our best, right? Then from outside, all these scammers, they are online scammers, roadside scammers. Then you sanitize from outside, meaning make it extremely difficult for scammers and online influencers and agents that are not, you know, credible agents to be shut out of the system entirely.
Do we really need even the agent itself? Do we really need them? Then not talk about talking about credible.
So I wanted to say no. But then again, I'm like, you know, some of this elitist talk where they talk here, you get, some people are privileged. You go good school, you understand good English, you understand all the plenty grammar where they go talk on top paper. Some people do not have that privilege. Maybe they learned in their local dialect and now they're encountering English examinations for the first time, all right? Even though those ones too we're supposed to talk them, right? Because if we are using these multiple languages, we should be able to learn both the Hausa properly in terms of teaching and the English, yes. Because by the time you get to tertiary level, now you are encountering English and then you say, oh, my mark is below par, right? But let's go back to where we were. So these agents might not be necessary for people like that to even understand. So even if you know they do mago and you know if you understand what they put on, you know, what they put in front of you, that's a problem. and we should not disadvantage those people just because. So that's where I bring the issue of credible agents.
It's all right, listeners. Don't forget, you can call into the show on the number 0805 299 8090. 0805 299 8090 or 0906 700 0015. 0906 700 0015. Or if your preference is texting, you can also text your questions or your contributions to 0805 299 7848. I take it again, 0805 299 7848. The question or your contribution should be centered on: do we really need agents to function in terms, just like our guests just highlighted now, needing at some point, based on their intellect level of understanding in the English usage, do we really need agents to function in the process, as middlemen in the process of admission within our institution? That is the question. Then if you have any other contribution or any other testimony in relation to admission fraud by your experience or somebody you know, you can also call to share that.
I think everybody get when I went to write my jam, I remember that I sat there, I came there like, you are very prepared. Okay, let's do this. And I got there, they gave me my paper. Those days we used to do paper, and they used to give type A, type B, type different things. So the person beside you will not have the same type as you. But 30 minutes into the examination, the same super invigilators came in and passed paper to certain people. One of the guys beside me got a paper, but unfortunately the paper they gave him was not correlating with the type. So he still asked me, I'm in trouble, my sister. I said, I came here on my own merits to do my own work, and you are still, and you got help, and then you are still asking me questions
for help again.
But that was, so for me, it was actually, I was upset because I felt like these people were supposed to be safeguarding the process, and they came and they will just, so you see, those people, they will not be writing anything until those invigilators come and slide them a paper of their type, giving them all the answers. How about?
You are, in fact, your story is even similar to my experience, and now that was at the level of my youth service when we're supposed to tutor some the JS3 students for their JSC exam, and we did our best as teachers. But unfortunately, I discovered that the school authority or the principal in charge of that particular school had to tax the students to pay some amount of money. I didn't want to pry. I don't know I didn't even get the check until on the D-Day. The exam or the supervisor coming, he has some share, take home share that he needs to go home, so that he doesn't, be act strict. Now the teachers are saddled with the responsibility to smuggle out those questions, answer them, write them on the board for the students to come. Now there was an experience. The one that really caught me off is that there is a particular student that the answer is on the board, but he cannot copy it in his book. And I was like, wow.
But so you see, we have said this before. If you don't, it starts from primary school and then to secondary school. If you have cheated your way through the system, you would continue to think that. So before you enter admission, you will definitely pay somebody. Now people are paying people for masters. I was once contacted to write somebody's PhD. I could not understand it. They said, I will pay you certain amount. We know you're a researcher. I will pay you certain amount to write my PhD for me. I said, why you they do PhD in the first place? Even me, I don't get PhD. I'm supposed to write your own.
Well,
why am I writing people's PhDs for them? Do you understand? So we start like that because we have a system that says that we can get away without the right oversight. So it means that even where we continue with it, masters, PhD, we continue this
Then,
mago.
if we want to track this, that means a lot of politicians will be in the net because they are answering doctors, professors that they never.
Some doctorate.
It's all right. Now you have given one of the actionable solutions. Do we still have some of other ones that we need to look into?
Definitely.
Okay.
Our role. You know, we always say it here that we have a role to play.
Yeah.
As Nigerians, please, there is a place for merit-based development. Even if the child does not pass today, the child can equip themselves. That's what learning is. You know, we can develop it. I know smart reach you, but I can develop them in such a way that I still go pass.
Yeah.
You understand? So we must first and foremost take up the responsibility. Because government, oversight. Now we be our first oversight. Let us first take up that role and say, this haba, I won't do this. Right? So it means that once we start to Nigerians and start to say, no, this must not happen in my turf. This cannot happen in front of me. And now I wish I was as bold as this. I will raise my hand and say, I will scatter this jam hall if the papers are not out here. I will make sure, all of us no go get for this center. You understand? So I wish I was that bold then, but of course, I just face my business in Waka. But Nigerians must be bold. They must start to say no to corruption in such a telling manner. So when you see it happen, you say no. When you are also in the privilege to get such support, you will say no, I'd rather fail. And there's people that have done that and have passed through the process. I know someone who is in the position of almost becoming a son now. And he had to repeat JAMB almost 4 times. But you see, all through this process, even while he was repeating JAMB, he was doing ICANN. So he has both a law certificate and an accounting certificate in one. It means that there are privileges everywhere. We don't have to do corruption.
Okay. All right. So the place of merit should be encouraged to help develop our educational system.
Definitely.
It's all right. For those that will be having this challenge, especially with admission fraud, is there a role Akin Fadeyi Foundation can play for those that must have been caught in the web because they don't have anyone who can assist them, or probably somebody has subjected them, that if you don't provide this, then you will not have it. Is there any role that Akin Fadeyi Foundation can play to assist them?
Most definitely. If you are encountering this conversation for the first time, and we are on Make Wisama Corruption session today at the FRSC, National Traffic Radio. So if you're encountering this conversation for the first time, then I would want to talk to you about what we have in terms of accountability measures. So Akin Fadeyi Foundation has something we call the Flag It app. You can download the Flag It app on Apple and Play Store. Just go there, type Flag It app, and it will come up. Download it and you can report. So you can report institutions, you can report different other kinds of corruption, and we'll take it up. We would get someone who will follow up with you to ensure that, especially if you have evidence, we tell people to put as many evidence. If you have video recording, put. If you have picture recording, put. Right? And so we will be able to take that case up and find justice, in terms of make sure that these things are addressed.
So you hear the good news is here. If you are the kind of person who do not want to participate in the corrupt practices that is ongoing, and you are caught in that web that you can't move forward or you can't get admission, yes, there is hope for you. Use the Flag It app. It's so easy to use. Just go to your Google Play Store or iOS Store, download or type Flag It together, FLAGIT, Flag It, and you will download it. You will go through it, register, put your informations, and you will see spaces on the window, whatever that is provided, whichever column you want to use.
Yes,
provide the information, the evidences, tell your story, tell you. As soon as the report gets to them, they will put a call across to you and see how they can help you. It's a pleasure to have you, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nigerians are blessed to have you. Give them hope that this can actually work and they can get justice. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure and a duty for every Nigerian that we know that we can stand on the truth. Let merit rule the day. Let's give merit a chance so that our society will get better. Until we come your way again next week Friday on this station and on at the same time to continue with our message on Make We Summer Corruption. See you again next week. God bless.
Thank you.